Hey guys, and welcome to Functional Print Friday, and welcome back to my shop. So this is going to be a special quick Sunday night special edition because last Friday I published a video on this guy right here. This is the FPF Bambulab Spool Buddy tool. If you missed that video, this locks onto the Bambulab's reusable refillable spools and makes it a lot easier to get the refills down on there in place and lined up correctly when they are really tight. They're supposed to be loose and just drop right on, and some of them do, but I have found probably about a third of mine are just really tight for whatever reason. Either the cardboard is deformed or whatever. And this makes it a lot easier to get on. And that video did really well. You guys let me know down in the comments on that one that you were really excited to see that someone had solved this problem, and put this up on Maker World. Tons of people have downloaded already and let me know that it's working great for them. So in that video, I also showed this. This is a tool I had made just for myself. I had whipped this up really quick just right before the video to make it a lot easier for me to lock and unlock these reusable spools. I had surgery on my arm about a little over a month ago, and I can't apply a lot of force with this wrist yet, and this locks on and lets me turn the spools. I said if there was interest in it that I would go ahead and release the STL for this as well, and a bunch of you guys down in the comments said that you wanted to get this as well. So went to work over the last couple of days sort of tuning this up a little bit. This is the original one. I didn't show this real close in last Friday's episode, but there are a number of issues with this. If you look, these are dowel pins in here and they're crooked. And it kind of worked out because they all ended up sort of crooked in their own fashion that somehow still fit onto the spool. But yeah, that's not great. So got a couple problems to solve. They're also not perfectly aligned. They're a little bit, if we pop this in, see they're a little bit too close together. Not by much. And again, the way they ended up going in there crooked, it kind of worked out just by luck. But yeah, I want to get that cleaned up. And I think this part could also be a little bit taller and also be a little bit tighter of a fit in the center hub of the spool. So I'm gonna go make these changes. Let's print out another one of these and bring you guys back. All right, this guy is done. Printed out really nice. And this uses up pretty much the whole bed on the A1, P1S, P1P, X1C, you know, the standard 256 by 256 sheet. This is not going to be printable on the A1 Mini. Unfortunately, the build volume on that machine is just not big enough to really make a wrench like this. So apologies if that's the only machine you've got, but this will work on any one of the other Bambulab printers. You also don't need to do it in multicolor. I did do multicolor on this just because I thought that kind of had a neat look to it. I did it on the bottom. That's the part that goes against the build plate. So it's only a handful of color changes to get that effect on the bottom, but you don't need it. Sort of rounded off the edges down here on the handle part, make it a little bit more comfortable to hold, and I added a hole here to hang it. Now, you'll notice we have 4 holes here where we need to insert something to actually turn the spool. I'm using stainless steel dowel pins, and the ones that I designed this for are 3/32 by 1/2 inch. And these are stainless. Doesn't really need to be stainless, although it is nice to know that they won't rust. I'll link to these down in the description of the video if you want to pick these up. This is what I would recommend using. You could also use like long grub screws or even a cutoff bolt. The problem is that's going to work fine at first, but eventually that is going to chew up the inside of these holes, whereas the smooth dowel pins are not going to do that. So I would recommend picking these up. They're good to have for other projects as well. Again, I'll link these down in the description. So let's get the dowel pins pressed in. And that brings us to the other challenge that I had with this. Even though I tried to get these in straight, yeah, most of them, as you saw previously, did not go in straight. So I also designed this little tool that I think we can insert the dowel pins in and should hold them nice and straight when we press them in place. Now to press them in place, you could do it with just a vise or maybe even like a big pair of like slip joint pliers. But I've got an arbor press, and I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. So let's go over to the arbor press and get these pins pressed in. All right, we're over here at the arbor press. Again, if you don't have one of these, a vise should work just fine. And I've taken one of our little stainless steel dowel pins and just put it in our holder here. It's a slip fit in one of these guys. I can just push it around. And I've got a position so that just the end of it, the tapered part, is sticking out, so I can use that to line up in one of our holes. And then I'm just going to push down with the holder to make sure it's nice and flat. And we'll press this guy in. Yeah, that looks nice and straight. That's working well. All right, and that's all 4 of them in. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, that drops right in. That is pretty much as perfect as it gets. I'm going to try it on all 4 sides of these 2 different spools. Yeah, that locks in so nice. Okay, so there's basically 2 ways to use this. You can either use it like a lever arm where you don't even hold on to it. You just put it down against the workbench and then twist with both hands on the reel on the other side. So this would be tightening it. I've actually got to flip it around. And now with both hands, I can take this side, turn it, and unlock it. And to lock it, we would just have it facing the other way. Flip it around back like this. And grab the side again with 2 hands, turn it, and we are locked. The other way you could use this is if you made 2 of them, you truly could use it like a wrench to turn in either direction. So if I want to unlock, I'm twisting that way. If I want to lock, I'm twisting that way. It actually makes it really easy, like almost no force in comparison to just doing it with your hands. But you've got to print 2 of them for that. All right, well, there we have it. There is the spool wrench to go along with the spool buddy. And make sure you print out the installation tool as well for those stainless steel dowel pins to make sure they go in nice and straight. I'll upload this to MakerWorld. You can search for it there. Just search for FPF spool wrench. And of course, the spool buddy is available up there as well. If you missed last Friday's video and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link to the video for this down in the description as well. Guys, thanks for hanging out in the shop with me for this quick little special edition Sunday follow-up for sharing the design for the spool wrench. And thanks for all your likes and subscribes on last Friday's video as well. And if you are one of the folks that subscribed, well, I'll see you next Friday.